everybody. But in most cases, we're selling products that people don't really want. They don't want. Listen, 26 years in a financial institution, they don't want it. Nobody is sitting home on a Sunday opening up the Sunday circulars, right, where they're looking at all the advertisements and say, hey, I wonder, if that bank's having a big checking sale today. Let me run on out. They're not doing that. I can look at the electronics stores and say, wow, they got big screen smart TVs on sale. Let me go down and get that. That's pretty exciting. That's what we call a sexy product. Insurance, accounts, not really sexy. They need it. They need them. But more importantly, they need what they do for them. They need what they do for them. So nobody needs a checking account, right? But they need to pay bills. They don't want to pay bills, but they need to pay bills. So it's important to kind of tell them why they need our products and services. So, Apple, and we'll have a slide about Apple a little bit later on. Apple's created a culture where all they have to do is say, hey, we're going to introduce a new phone. They don't even have to talk about the new phone. All they have to do is say, hey, a new phone's coming out. There's going to have a line of people outside the Apple store to buy the new latest phone. So that's why anybody work for Apple here? That's why, because you guys are pretty good with selling all. They don't need to come to the seminar. I'm taking pre-orders for the 6S, Mike. I can't come out here right now. But our products, when we're trying to sell products that don't have that real connection, we have to tell people to understand, why that they sell for them and why it's important for them to use. It takes a little more. So we have to develop that emotional state. We have to tell them why it's important for them to come out there and do that and buy our product and buy our service. So it's interesting because, to be a good trainer, I always think is to be a good salesperson, you have to create that story and put people in a mental place where they understand why they're doing that. When we advertise this seminar, I needed to put 40 people in a mental place where they understood why is it important to give up 2 hours to sit here and listen to me talk about this. And the last part is logos, which means logic. Because I could have all the credibility in the world, I could develop a good story, but if it doesn't make sense, it's not logical, nobody's going to buy. Nobody's going to buy. And guess what? If it doesn't make sense, there goes my ethos, there goes my credibility. So if I tell somebody, you're going to save money by using this, I've got to show you how you do it, right? If I'm selling a new energy efficient appliance, guaranteed to save money, I have to ultimately somehow show you the math, how paying extra for this and saving this for your electricity bills is going to save you money in the long haul. Because if it doesn't save you money, it doesn't make sense, right? If it doesn't make sense, it doesn't matter anything else I've just talked about. So the three key parts. I have to have my ethos, I have to have my pathos, I have to have my logos, and that really works into the sales part as well. So when you go back and you work with your employees, again, think about this. Are they credible? Do my customers feel that they can come in, interact with them, do business with them, listen to them, and take their advice? Do they deliver in such a way that the customers understand what it is? Because if my customers don't understand what's in it for me, they're not going to buy. They have to be good storytellers. They have to be able to communicate. They have to be able to talk well. And it has to make sense. They have to be able to show that to them because we have a lot of, I need to see it and they need to show it to me that it makes sense and that it works. To me, in order for me to give my customer direction, I have to know some things first. Because sales is all about giving customer direction. But before I can give a customer direction, I have to know a few things. If I was going to Google Maps to get from here back to my home, and I want directions, I need to know those two pieces of information, right? I need to know where do I start and where am I going to end. Because if you don't know where somebody starts and where they end, you can't give them direction, correct? So it's important to understand your members' direction as well. So because of that, we created this customer compass. So our customer compass is going to actually show you how to give your customer direction on where they're at. So we took the 4 points of a compass. And by the way, the 4 parts of a compass, north, east, west, and south, creates an acronym. What do those words, what does that spell out? The NEWS, what does it spell out? News, right? And what does the news give you? News gives you information, right? News gives you information so that you can go on and make informed decisions, doesn't it? Whether we watch the news on TV, if anybody still does that, or the newspaper, if anybody still does that, or you get it online, you get it on your phone, however you get your news, the news gives you information to make informed decision. And a compass gives you direction to tell you how to go from here to there. So put that all together and create our own customer compass and just write down exactly what this stands for. And we're going to do a little exercise here to get you guys involved in talking and having a whole bunch of fun. So the N stands for needs. Needs are essentials, non-negotiable. Your customer has needs that have to absolutely be met. So in the financial realm, we talk about needs of you have to pay bills. I have bills, I have to pay them, I have to find a way to pay them. So if the N stands for needs, what do you think the W stands for? Wants. Okay? What are wants? Wants are goals and aspirations. Make sure that you don't confuse needs with wants. Needs are non-negotiable. Wants are my goals and aspirations. To quote a wise old philosopher, I like to do quotes, right? You guys like quotes? To quote a wise old philosopher, Mick Jagger, you can't always get what you want. But if you try sometimes, you just might find you get what you need. So you understand the difference between needs and wants. Going down to the bottom of the compass, the S. What do you think the S stands for? So we said the N stands for needs, the W stands for wants. I want to take a guess what the S stands for. TJ's back there saying, I remember this from up in Hershey just a few months ago, or over at Hershey a few months ago. Take a guess, anybody. There's no wrong answers. Service, okay. Not what we're looking for today. Solving problems. I like solving problems. Now we're looking for today. Somebody says satisfaction. We're back on the Mick Jagger kick, right? So S stands for sacrifices. Now, why is that important? Because sometimes we say sacrifice, it gets a little controversial, but people do have to sacrifice, right? Sacrifices are what you're willing to give up to get your needs and wants. Because here may be a shock to you, right? But you can't have it all. You can't have it all. You have to give something up, right? And some people are willing to sacrifice something to get something else. We'll talk about that in a little bit. So N stands for needs, W stands for wants, S stands for sacrifices. What do we think the E stands for? Excess? What else do we think it stands for? People say expectations. It's a good one, not what we're looking for. Think about sales. What's a big part of sales? Effort. Ooh, good one. Not what we're looking for right now. The end result. Very good. Not what we're looking for right now.
Education.
Ooh, education is good. Not what we're looking for right now. Examples? Here's what the E stands for. E stands for emotions. Emotions are the triggers that make people buy or prevent people from buying. Think about in your role. You probably make a lot of sales based on customer emotions. Also, customer emotions probably prevent a lot of selling. Hey, what do they say is the absolute worst time to go grocery shopping? When you're hungry. Why? You're going to buy more. Okay? You're going to buy junk food. What else are you going to buy? Pre-made food, right? Stuff that tends to be more expensive. Why? You're hungry. You want to buy it now. Is hunger an emotion? Yeah. How many people know of people who, shop when they're really happy? I'm in a great mood. Let's go out and buy something. Or you want to celebrate. We talked about earlier today, Steve and I, Steve who's back in the room filming, talked about how people, when they get a salary increase, tend to outspend their increase. So if you get a 3% salary increase, you tend to increase your spending by 4%. Because you're just so happy to get that raise, you're going to spend more money. So emotions are a big part of it, right? So here's what we're going to do. You guys are seated in groups. I know we have a two-person table. If you want to work together, we can put you at another table, whatever works for you. On your piece of paper, I want you to think about your company. Think about what you guys do and come up with what are your customers' needs and wants. Don't think about products. Think about what the products do for them. Needs and wants. Think about what they're willing to sacrifice. And also think about what emotions come into either making your customers buy or prevent your customers from buying. We'll give you guys a little bit of time to do that, and then we'll talk about it.